Today, we'll be taking a look at the switch harness on this Whirlpool gas range. Be sure to visit ApplianceVideo.com, where you will find thousands of repair videos on the latest technology. And for a limited time, you can save big on an annual membership and take advantage of all of our premium benefits. ApplianceVideo.com. Do it right the first time. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the gas. You will need the following tools to complete this repair. To begin, we'll start by removing the grates. One side just lifts straight up. The other one has some teeth, so it wouldn't have lifted up first, but now you can lift that one up and set it to the side. Next, we'll need to remove all the burners and caps. I recommend just pulling them off as one unit and setting them to the side and try to put them in order. Next, we need to remove these 10 screws that are holding on the top. Take out the last one here and set them to the side. Next, to lift up and remove your cooktop, there are 2 locking tabs underneath. They are approximately 3 or 4 inches between. You'll use a putty knife to press in and separate it here. Then we'll want to lift up and press your burners down while we're lifting up. Go underneath and remove the wire from the strain reliever on the left-hand side here. Then let's push our wires through. We're going to put a towel on here, lift up and out on the cooktop, then let's swing it around and sit it on its side here. Now on the back side, we have 1 1/4-inch screw that is holding on this ground strap. We'll take this off. Remove the screw, lift up, remove your cooktop, and set it to the side. Next, we need to remove the manifold panel. To do so, let's go ahead and open our door and remove all of our knobs. Then, there's a couple of screws that'll need to be removed. Starting with the 2 on the bottom, here's 1 on each side. Take that one off, and this one here. Get that one off, set those to the side. And then I want you to go through and remove the 4 Phillips screws that are on the front. Then finally, let's remove the Phillips screws going across the top. Before you remove the last one, hold on to the front. Let's take it off, grab the panel, slide out, and set it to the side. Now that we have the manifold cover removed, we have clear access to our spark igniter harness here. The main reason why you would need to replace this harness would be if your igniters are not sparking. Now, a good way to trick it is, let's say the middle one is not sparking. Well, you can turn on one of the other burners and see if it sparks on this burner, because no matter which switch is turned, all of the igniters spark. Now there's another way to test it, and what you'll need to do is pull on the wires so you can find out where your wires go in the back. Remove the pink wire from the spark module. The black wire is a little cable here. We will disconnect this, pull the black wire through. Now what you can do is you can put a meter lead into each one of these terminals and turn on each burner and check for ohms to make sure you have continuity. If one of the burners do not have continuity, it will need to be replaced. When replacing your switch harness, we have to remove each one from the burner valve. You'll stick a screwdriver in and pry up on the locking pins, separate and move out. Do the same to the other ones. Pry off on the locking pins. There's one on each side, and slide it out. Pull each one off, slide out the harness, and set it to the side. When installing your new switch harness, we're just going to go all the way across, starting with the one here, press in until it clicks, go over, lock it in place, lock it in place, lock it in place, and of course, lock it in place. We will push our wiring through the back here. Make sure it doesn't get damaged when doing so, and move the burner back. Slide the pink wire through the back and reattach it to the spark module. Feed in any excess wiring through the back. Let's slide the black one through. Feed it up and reattach the Molex here. Now we can reinstall the manifold cover. When reinstalling our manifold panel, let's slide the switches in first and then bring it on top of the silver frame, and let's start to screw it in on the top first. Now these screws are the smaller black screws that you took off of the unit. Then grab your silver screws, and we are going to reattach the manifold here. Then let's go to the underside. Reinstall your screws underneath. We'll reinstall our knobs, and each one of the knobs has a flat spot on it, so it can only go on one way. Now we can reinstall the cooktop. When reinstalling our cooktop, first we're going to lay a rag on the side again. Grab your nut driver and 1/4 inch ground screw, put it through the strap here, and reinstall it on the back. Then once we get it somewhat tight, you're going to want to bring it down so that the strap points down. Then we're going to swivel it around let's remove our rag. And then, before we do anything, let's look underneath and reinstall the wiring through the strain reliever on the side. Now, when you are reinstalling your cooktop on here, it can be rather difficult. You'll want to start with the back, going straight even on both sides, and then start to bring it in, and it will start to kind of swivel down. Now, while it's swiveling down, you'll want to adjust all of your surface burners, igniters, so that they do not get crushed. And then eventually, you'll get it into the right spot where you can clip it down. Now we can reinstall the screws. When reinstalling your screws, we're gonna lay them all down here. And we're gonna start with the hand screwdriver so that we do not strip anything out. And when you're doing this, make sure you pull up on the burner and just gently put the screw inside. If they are stiff, make sure you do it with your hand screwdriver instead of putting your drill on there to avoid stripping it. This one's a little stiff, so I'm going to finish it all the way down. Now that we have all of the screws threaded, let's go ahead and get our drill, put it on a low torque, and tighten them up. Now we can reinstall the caps and grates. When reinstalling your burners, of course we have a small burner on the top right, large burner on the bottom right, the middle burner, and make sure you do not damage the spark electrodes when you are installing your burners. The left bottom, we have one of the large burners, and of course a medium burner on the left back. Now we can reinstall the grates. When reinstalling your grates, we will put the side down with the teeth first. Get it lined up so that those are going up. Bring the other one down to lock it in place. And this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click the like and subscribe to our channel.